Hello students, today's lesson is on solving absolute value equations algebraically. So how do you use algebra to solve the absolute value equations? First step is to check whether the left hand side of the equation has only absolute value, nothing added or multiplied outside the absolute value sign. Second step is to check whether the right hand side is positive or not. If it is not positive, we will come up with show you the examples, what to do in that situation. But here, check one, left hand side is only absolute value and right hand side is positive. Okay, so now we step by step solve this absolute value equation algebraically. So if that is the case, check 1, check 2 are completed, then you're going to split the equation into two parts. X minus 4, copy down the left hand side, the inside of the absolute value, x minus 4 is equal to, copy the right hand side, 6. Now we know that the absolute value of 6 is of 6 is 6 and the absolute value of negative 6 is also 6, right? So I can x minus 4, if it is equal to 6, the absolute value of that is 6, so I can replace my x minus 4 with 6 and solve for x. I can also replace my x minus 4 with a negative 6 because that will also give me 6 as the answer and solve for x. So the second part of the split will be x minus 4 is equal to negative 6. Now I'm going to solve these two equations the way we solve equations. We do the inverse operations. 4 is subtracted, you add 4 to both sides, add 4 to both sides. Negative 4 and positive 4 make a 0, so you're left with x on the left hand side, and the right hand side 6 plus 4 is 10. And here again negative 4 and positive 4 get cancelled, you're left with x, and negative 6 plus 4 make a negative 2. Now, are we ready to circle the answers? Not yet. I'm going to check my answers. First one, 10 minus 4. That's absolute value of 6. That is equal to 6. Absolutely right. Now I can circle my answer. Let's see the next one. X is equal to negative 2. So I plug in negative 2 for x, negative 2 in the equation. Negative 2 minus 4. And that is equal to absolute value of negative 6, which is equal to 6. Absolutely fine. So I can circle my next answer also. So x is equal to 10 and x is equal to negative 2. There are two solutions for the absolute value equation. X minus 4 absolute value is equal to 6. Let's see the next question. Again, check point 1. Is the left hand side only inside the absolute value sign and the right hand side, is it positive? If that is the case, I split this equation again into two parts. X plus 2, I copy the inside of the absolute value, is equal to, I copy the outside here, 10. And the right hand side, the next split is x plus 2, copy the inside as it is, but instead of 10, I put a minus 10 because absolute value of minus 10 is also 10 and negative 10 is also 10 and absolute value of positive 10 is also 10. So x plus 2 could have been 10 or could have been negative 10. Now I solve for x again using the inverse operation. 2 is added, so I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides. Subtract 2 on both sides. And 2 minus 2 is a 0. You get an x. 10 minus 2 becomes an 8. And here you get 2 minus 2 is a 0. X is equal to negative 2 plus negative 10 minus 2 is equal to negative 12. Again, I can check my answer. 8, plug in your answer for x. 8 plus 2 is equal to absolute value of 10 is equal to 10. So this is right. So x is equal to 8 is one of my answers. And if I plug in negative 12, if I plug in negative 12 for this x, negative 12 plus 2 is equal to negative 12 plus 2 is equal to absolute value of negative 10. Absolute value of a negative number is also positive, and so x is equal to negative 2 is my next answer. Now let's see question number 5. What if I'm checking the left hand side, it is only absolute value, that's fine. The right hand side is a negative number, which is not possible because absolute value of anything can never be negative. Absolute value is like a distance, it does not give a direction. Positive and negative are associated with a direction, so this is by definition not possible. Absolute value, absolute value of a number is never negative. Not possible. So you can see here also, there is only absolute value on the left hand side and the right hand side is negative. So this is not possible. Question number 6 also. Let's go to number 3 and see how we can solve that. There is something multiplied here in front. So check 1. Is there only absolute value present in the left hand side? That is not true. So what are we going to do? We are going to use the inverse operation to first get rid of something which is multiplied. Inverse of multiplication is division. So we divide both sides by 3. Now 3 goes into 3 one time. So we get x minus 2 is equal to 3 goes into 18 6 times. So 6. And now we are ready to, I'm just going to create some more space here. Now we are ready to split this equation. What is the condition for splitting the equation? The left hand side should only be inside the absolute value sign and the right hand side should be positive. So there was a 3 multiplied outside. I used the inverse operation to get rid of that 3 on both sides, and now my path is clear to split the equation. Again, how do you split? Copy the inside of the absolute value minus 2, copy the right hand side. What do you do for the second split? Copy the inside x minus 2 exactly as it is, but the right hand side you make it negative, because that is possible. Absolute value of negative 6 is also 6. Absolute value of 6 is also 6. So I can replace my x by minus 2 by 6 or by negative 6. Again, start with the inverse operation. You're going to solve for x. So plus 2 plus 2, x becomes equal to 8 here, and x becomes equal to plus 2, x becomes equal to negative 4 here. Now if you plug it back in, 8 minus 2 is equal to 6. Absolute value of 6 is 6. If you plug in negative 4 instead of x, negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6, and absolute value of negative 6 is 6. So you can circle both the answers and they are right. Similarly here, the path is not clear for splitting. Negative 2 is multiplied, divide by negative 2 on both sides first. So negative 2 goes into negative 2 one time. So you're left with x minus 4, and negative 2 goes into negative 12 six times. Negative divided by negative is a positive. Keep in mind all those integer division multiplication rules and you get a 6. Right? Now your path is clear for splitting. It is not a negative 6, it is a positive 6. So left hand side is only inside the absolute value sign, nothing multiplied, nothing added outside, and the right hand side is a positive number. Now I'm ready to split it. X minus 4 is equal to 6, and the other one will be x minus 4 equals negative 6. One time negative of this, one time positive of this, and copy the inside on the left hand side. Again, add 4 to both sides, right? And here you get x equals 10, and here you get add 4 to both sides. Inverse operation for solving for x. You know how to solve equations. So x is equal to negative 6 plus 4 is a negative 2. Again, you can plug in back your 10. Here, 10, you have 10 minus 4 is a 6. So your equation was negative 2, 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 is a 6. 6 times negative 2 is a negative 12. Similarly, negative 2 minus 4 is a negative 6. Absolute value of negative 6 is a positive 6 times negative 2 is a negative 12. So your answer is positive 10 and a negative 2. Now I want you to keep one thing in mind. Although you saw that this is a negative 12, you don't immediately jump to the conclusion that this is not possible. This you can only say if the left hand side is only absolute value, but here is something multiplied. First you get rid of that and then see the right hand side is positive or not. Yes, when we divided both sides by negative 2, the right hand side became positive. So this equation is solvable. That is why we split it into two parts like before. Okay, I hope you found this exercise useful to do your first assignment on absolute value equations. Please do question numbers in your assignment, question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we will take up from there. Thank you.